Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've done a thing. I've bought a top, a nice Christmassy top. It's very cozy. It feels lovely. I bought it especially for this video because we are doing a gift guide, and not just any gift guide, but a luxury gift guide for the sewer in your life. So whether that's yourself, we all like to gift ourselves for now and again, don't we? Or it's for other people in your life that would appreciate sewing gifts. If you are a sewer and your loved ones want some ideas of things to get you, maybe show them this video. My idea is that this video will offer luxury items, i.e. things that we wouldn't necessarily buy for ourselves. So I've got 20 items across a range of price points for you. So there's going to be something for everyone. Let me know down below which gifts you like the best, or which ones you're going to get someone or you would like to receive. By the way, ignore all that in the background. I've just bought a bed and it's obviously not put together, but the sun's glaring in the other way, so we've got to get on with it because I need to film 2 videos today. So let's get into the first section, which is gifts for under £15. A lot of these gifts will be UK links, which will all be down in the description box below, but let this video serve as inspiration for you to go off and do your own research. The first ones are ones that I own, and that is these snips. These are gold-plated snips from Merchant and Mills. I've had these a couple of years. I've gifted these to people before. As a sewer, over the years, I've bought lots of cheap little snips that cost £1, £2, £3, and they go blunt in no time at all. At one point, I had about 8 pairs around, and in the end, I thought I just want to buy myself a good pair that is going to last. So I've used these for a couple of years now, and I can attest, I've had them over 2 years and they haven't needed sharpening at all. They're very, very sharp. And as per all Merchant and Mills products, they're very high quality. So the next thing on my list is a Tula Pink seam ripper. I've talked lots and lots about the fact that we have to seam rip no matter what stage we're at, whether we're a beginner sewer, intermediate or advanced, we need a seam ripper. And the annoying thing about seam rippers is they don't last. They do go blunt and they do need replacing fairly frequently because it's one of those tools that we're going to need on pretty much every project. These Tula Pink seam rippers are expensive for what they are. It's a seam ripper. It's £15, but it's got interchangeable blades. So you're not replacing the whole seam ripper every time. You just take the blade out and put a new one in. And you know what, when you're seam ripping, it can be a really negative experience because you've obviously done something wrong that you need to undo. And having a luxury seam ripper like that in your hand that has been gifted to you, it's going to mean a lot to you. It's going to boost your mood every time you look at it. So the next one is a bit of a fun one, and that is a sewing cup. So this was the only one I could find that I remotely liked, to be honest. It's a fun one. As you can see, it's £11. I'm sure you'll be able, wherever you are in the world, you will be able to find a cup that suits your needs or suits the needs of the person that you're buying for. But as sewers, we can often sit at the sewing machine for hours and hours and hours, often forgetting to hydrate ourselves, which is super, super important. I think having a special cup like that is going to encourage you to hydrate yourself. So the next thing on my list is magic pins. These come in at about £14. I've had these on my list in my head for quite a while now, because I do want to get them. If you're someone who's got arthritis in your hands, maybe you've got shaky hands like I have, you might have trouble picking up pins. I am forever stabbing myself. Well, these pins are specially made to be easier to pick up. They're longer and they've got a more of a bulbous end. Now, is £14 a lot to pay for a packet of pins? It is, but if it makes the sewing journey easier and you're not going to hurt yourself so much, then it's going to be worthwhile, especially if it's gifted to you. The last item within this price point is a drafting ruler. I use drafting rulers a lot, even though I don't draft my own patterns. I do trace patterns and I do adapt patterns, so I use rulers a lot. And I had a similar ruler to this one that you can see on the screen now. I wore it out. I completely wore it out twice. I bought it, but I bought a cheaper one. So I think if you're buying a gift for someone, or you're asking someone to gift you, buying a higher end one that is going to last a lot longer as it's a gift, and £14 isn't a lot for a gift, then I think that's going to serve you really, really well. I do hope you're liking these ideas. Stay right to the end because I've got an extra gift that I've just remembered that I didn't put on the list that I want to share with you. So now we're heading into the £15 to £30 range. Now, for reference, I think dollars are not much different to pounds at the moment. So this next sewing item is a heat hammer. So this is something that's been on my radar for a little while, but at £22.50, I'm not sure I would buy it for myself, but I would welcome it as a gift. It's just going to help you make really precise creases. The next product to share with you is a resin paperweight. We all know about these dice paperweights that I got, and they serve me so well. I've got 2 of these, and that's pretty much all I use for holding my pattern pieces down now. Despite the fact that I've got loads of these, which are just washers, I just never use them. Full disclosure, I went to my friend's Etsy page. She's a very good friend of mine. I recently bought some coasters for my sister on there, and she's got a resin paperweight that costs £16. Getting 1 or maybe 2 of these for the sewists in your life will serve them really well, because they're going to use paperweights time and time again. My friend doesn't know that I'm mentioning her shop here. I haven't told her, she hasn't asked me. It's not an ad or anything, it's just I really think this is something that could be useful for you. The next product to share with you is a magnetic pin dish. I love my magnetic pin dish, but it's not very aesthetic. It's not very beautiful. It's just a blue basic one. Now, if I was getting a gift or asking for a gift, then I would ask for something like this. It's a wooden one. It's made of oak and it just looks beautiful, but it does the exact same thing as the other ones, like the ones that I have. The next product to share with you is a personalised vegan leather notebook. So I've talked at length in my past videos about taking notes as you go through your sewing journey. This is so important. And I think this would be a really good gift to give yourself or for someone else to give you, because it can be your sewing book. I mean, it can be a book. You can write anything in these books. But it's a luxury gift. It's going to make you happy every time you open it, and it's going to encourage you to write your notes and keep a diary, if you like, of the process of sewing, so that when you come back to it in the future and want to make that garment again, then you've got all your notes from last time, because our memories are not working anymore, are they? So the last product in this 15 to 30 range is a mini iron. I've talked about my mini iron before. Now, the one that I have that you've seen before on screen was recalled, I think, in America a couple of years ago. I haven't had any trouble with mine, but I wanted to source a different one for you. So I come up with the Clover mini iron, and Clover is a sewing brand. So it is specifically for sewing. I know for myself, with fatigue levels, I don't want to be using the big iron all the time because it's heavy and it takes it out of me. So I love my mini iron for small little areas. If you're liking these gift ideas, don't forget to hit subscribe down below and leave me a comment, because that really will help this video reach a lot more people. So before we get into the £60 to £100 range, there's another way that is a really good way to gift a sewer in your life, and that is to give them a coffee. Yes, you can give me a coffee for Christmas, or just because you appreciate this video. Every coffee I get goes towards the channel, towards me paying my bills and being able to continue to do this. And I'm very appreciative. Let's get on to the £60 to £100 range. And the first one is this sewing starter kit from Merchant and Mills. And that comes in at £70. This would be absolutely ideal for anyone who was just starting to sew, who was, or maybe even had said they want to sew, but they haven't started yet, but you think that they'll stick at it. This would be a lovely gift. Maybe they've been sewing for a couple of months and they really love it and you like to see them happy, and this gift would make them ecstatic. When we're brand new sewers, we tend to pick cheap tools and supplies and they don't always serve us right. So if you've got something like this from Merchant and Mills, it's going to be quality products in there and it's going to last them the distance. So the next product in the £60 to £100 range that I would consider purchasing for a sewer in my life is some quality fabric. So I've picked up this linen by Cloth House. They're a luxury brand and their linen comes in at £30 a metre. Most people who sew are not going to spend £30 a metre on themselves, certainly in the earlier days. Now I would say if they're brand new to sewing, I wouldn't give them this because they're going to make mistakes and they may ruin the fabric. But if they've been sewing for a year or more, I certainly would consider it. I myself is someone who went through using cheap fabrics. They didn't last. Sometimes they didn't last further than actually making the garment. I now choose quality fabric that I buy less often. And I think being gifted something like this would be amazing. Now, if you are not the sewer and you've been sent this video, then depending on the type of garment that they would likely make from it and how big they are will determine how many meters that they would need. For me, at my size, I can make most garments with 3 meters. I can make a top with 2 meters, just to give you an idea. For this one, I put down 3 meters of this linen fabric coming in at £90. The next product is something that I was actually gifted a few years ago by Megan Handmade. She ran a competition, if you like, a giveaway for Vlogmas, and I won these. And I love them. They're not something that I would have bought myself, but I absolutely love them. And that is a set of Orifil threads. They're really, really high quality. I cannot fault them. I've used them on multiple garments now, and they are just really, really good. Again, am I going to pay £125 for a big pack of threads? Probably not. I would buy the thread colour that I need. So this is a real luxury gift that's going to be really appreciated because it's going to save people money as they're sewing. It's got a range of colours in there. They're not going to need to go out and buy thread for every project. The next product I want to share with you is pattern making paper. Now, I have featured this in pretty much every sewing tools video I've done, where I told you I bought a big reel of paper. It's about 300 meters by 90 centimeters. You can get different widths, but that's the width that I chose. I bought that back in 2017 and I still have quite a bit left on the roll now. And I've used it for moving, like wrapping my crockery in it a few times as well. So I don't only use it for pattern making, and I've still got loads left. So once you apply the tax to this, it comes in at about £86. That's not including the postage, of course. If you've got the budget to spend that much on a gift, then that is something that's going to be really well received. If people like to trace their patterns, not so much if they're just cutting the patterns out. If they're doing that, then this gift won't be for them. But certainly if they're a tracer like I am, then yes, or making adaptations, or if they're drafting their own patterns in particular. So this last gift in the £60 to £100 range is a luxury. I think most of us sewers won't have it, but we would quite like it. and that is a bias maker. And that comes in at £100. So don't confuse that with the bias tools you can get for about £5 or £10 on Amazon. They are really just manual tools that will help you. The bias maker will do the job for you. If you are someone that sews with bias quite a lot, or you know someone that does, then this would be a really useful gift for them because it's going to save them a ton of time. Now we're heading into the final price range, and that is £100 to £300. So the first one I've got for you is a sewing machine. So when looking for a sewing machine to recommend to you, I wanted to choose one that I think would be really useful for a beginner sewer, but not so useful that it's got too many features. So I know when I first started sewing and I was buying my machines, I was looking for sewing machines with hundreds and hundreds of stitches. My current sewing machine that I bought about 6 years ago has over 300 stitches, I think, maybe even more. And I don't use most of them. I don't think I've ever used most of them. I chose the B35 sewing machine by Bernina. Bernina are a really good luxury brand, and this is one of their base models. If I was falling in love with sewing right now, this is the sewing machine that I would want. This sewing machine retails at £250, and I think that is an absolute steal. And if you was to gift someone this for Christmas or their birthday or whenever, some kind of holiday, it's a machine that's going to last them a very long time. The very first time I went into a sewing shop and I asked for their help, I said, I want a sewing machine that I'm going to grow into. And they gave me a sewing machine that just didn't suit my needs whatsoever. Being more experienced now, I think we don't want a machine we're going to grow into, because when we're first sewing, we want all the bells and whistles, and then as we get longer in our journey, we realise we don't need them. So we're going to grow out of them, not into them. So this is a machine that could probably stay with someone for 20 or 30 years or more. So the next product that I would gift, if I was looking to gift someone a product for £280, is a dressmaker's dummy. Now, I particularly like this one from Amazon because it is pinnable. I had a dressmaker's dummy a couple of years ago. I wanted to learn to draft patterns on the body. So I bought this expandable one that didn't go up to my size anyway, but I know you can pad them out. But the problem was it had a really solid plastic body, so I couldn't get pins into it. So I wasn't able to use it for the purpose that I bought it for. So in the product information on this one, it particularly says it is pinnable, and that is what you want to look for. £280 seems like a lot of money for a dressmaker's dummy, but actually it's really not. They can go up to 400, 800, over £1,000, especially if you're getting into plus size dummies. Just check the size range is similar to the person you're gifting it to. So the next product to share with you is a sit-stand desk. If the sewer in your life, whether yourself or someone else, has a lot of health problems, they can't sit down at the sewing machine, or bending over causes pain, then a sit-stand desk is going to be ideal, especially if it's electronic. So we all know that I've got a sit-stand desk. I'd done a brand deal a couple of years ago and was gifted one, and it was the best thing that I've ever had. Now, the one I'm sharing a link for isn't the one that I was gifted. This is one that is cheaper, but this one comes in at £220, and it is from IKEA, so it's accessible to a lot of people. The sewer in your life is going to be really, really thankful. So the next gift idea for you is a professional iron. So I found this one at £269. When I first started to sew, this is something that I really wanted, but I didn't have the budget to do it or to buy it. But if I had, I would have. It's going to give much more pristine finishes. One of the best things that we can do as sewers to have a professional looking garment is to press it. And with a professional iron that is dedicated just for that purpose, then you are going to get a much better finish. I don't have one. I've never had one, so I don't know what the other benefits are. If you have one, perhaps leave those benefits down below. The next gift idea is some professional shears. So I found these at Merchant and Mills for £269. That seems like a lot of money to pay for a pair of scissors. But if it's a gift and you have that kind of budget, then it's something, it's a pair of scissors essentially that is going to stay with that sewist for the rest of their life. If they're young and they're in their 20s and they're sewing, it will probably last them until they die if they're still sewing all that time. It'll give a very precise cut. It will make the experience of cutting the pattern out very, very lovely. I was gifted a pair of shears a couple of years ago, another giveaway I won. And they were worth £130. Now, I would never have paid that for myself for a pair of shears. I had a pair of gingers that cost me £30 previously. So I have used both the low end, or that's kind of a medium end, and the higher end. They are worlds apart. I will just say, if the recipient is someone who has problems lifting stuff, some high-end shears can be really heavy, so you want to look for the weight to see if it's a heavy shear or not. I said if you wait to the end, I've got an extra one that I'd forgotten to put on my list but would make a really good gift, and that is Cashmerette's new book. So this was sent to me by the publishers for free. I didn't pay for this, but we had tried to arrange to do a video around this book, but it didn't work out because I don't currently have my sewing machines out, so I can't do sewing videos at the moment. But they said they would like to send it to me because I'd supported Cashmerette in the past. So they sent it to me with no need to talk about it at all. But I actually think it is a really good thing. I've had a quick browse through it. It's a really thick book. It's got lots of patterns in the back. You can see some of them there. So this is a book for beginner sewers, and Cashmerette focuses on the larger lady. So if you've got someone in your life who's a little bit larger, who is learning to sew clothes, then this would be a really great gift for them. I wish I had this kind of resource when I was starting out. Let me know down in the comments which of these you liked or didn't like, and please share this video out to anyone you think would find it useful. If you would like some more gift ideas, check out this video. It's a gift guide I did a couple of Christmases ago that's got some different things in it. I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Happy Christmas to you.